doing it live. Fuck it. Okay, just gotta see if we're going through public. Okay, excellent. Sounds good. Yeah, just let me know if the chat, if anything's fucked up, or if there's any echo, or the audio's not going through, or any crap like that. Okay, so this is what I did last time in the Peterson sculpt. Did the face, so now we're gonna do the eyes, the ears if I feel like it, and the hair. So, okay, so for the eyes, I just have, I guess this is the previous one. I know, I liked how that one, my first attempt, came out better than this attempt, which is very strange, because you would imagine that the second attempt would be better. But so, it happens. Just trying to get the proportions right. Because I don't think this is exactly the center from the ear. You know, it's like a little bit, pupil is like a little bit off center to the left. Just like Tim Pool or something. Just a little bit to the left. Yeah, because we want this to be right, because when we, it's going to be a lot of work. Not a lot, but like it's a little bit of work to get the eyes in. Okay. So yeah, and that's what you do for eyes typically, is you just kind of, you know, you make the pupil, make that the pupil, add a material, make that material for the iris. You can make it, you know, brown or blue or whatever the fuck. Although I think Peterson has brown eyes. Okay. How does that look? Let's try it. And of course, Shift D, Alt G, and then move to another layer, because you always want to duplicate, so that way if something gets really fucked up, you're not like, you know, panicking and, you know, oh my goodness, what the fuck is happening. I mean, it hasn't happened to me a lot where you just want to completely start over like that, but it does happen. But it's always, you want to make it easy for yourself to make variations of things and not make it a fucking hassle. Okay, so we're doing the eyes. It took me a while to get eyes. It definitely did. So if you're intimidated by eyes, you're not alone. But like anything else, you just have to do it and kind of get used to it. But I find it's the hardest because you're sculpting around a surface. I mean, like the nose you can just kind of build up, the lips you can just kind of build up. Same with everything. With the eyes, you actually have to form around this fucking sphere. And you can just sculpt on the eyes. You know, kind of build them up in that way. And yes, I have house in the background. Which, good. I don't have that playing because I don't want to get copyright strikes. Yay! Just me and my voice and Jordan Peterson's sexy face. No copyright issues. Unless, you know, GQ decides to be a bunch of fucking dicks. But, you know. I think it was it GQ that interviewed him, and it was just so abysmal, and he just destroyed. It was one of those. Of course, everyone knows Channel 4. It's just total ponage, but oh boy. I know I'm a tantric Buddhist and I'm talking about poning people. How's that for irony? But no, seriously, that was definitely some ponage. Let's see. Yeah, I like JP. Yeah, Leo Gura actually had a video which was a critique about JP, and I've made videos, like montages, excerpts from both, and but honestly, I have to say, Leo probably had the best critique of JP that I've ever seen. Like, it was not disingenuous at all. You know, of course, he kind of uses spiral dynamics to kind of break it down and everything. Oh boy. Okay. But, you know, I mean, it just, at the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to there's different schools of thought with things. There's different schools of thought with, you know, production and music theory, all that. There's different schools of thought with philosophy. So we don't have to kill each other. It's not really necessary, just because we have different schools of thought. Yeah, let's just become totally dogmatic and just have like crusades. Let's just have digital crusades about stupid shit. But this is kind of the general idea behind the eyes. I know my characters always kind of have this like Pixar look to them for some reason. You know, I think when you do the shading and the read topology and all this shit, you can kind of get a different look. But I don't know, I think it's because I did CG Cookie for so long that whenever I sculpt heads, they kind of look like Kent Trammell or the Pixar or whatever. So let's see. Yeah, Ken Trammell is pretty big, and Jonathan Williamson is where I got my CG Cookie shit from. CG Cookie's good. He has a Ken Trammell has a course that I'm looking forward to. Okay, so you can see you got this like slant. Then let's add in. See, once you kind of break it down in terms of just general shapes, it becomes less intimidating. Yeah, I also plan on doing more with music. I'm discussing, it is a conversation, doing another live stream with some friends in June. I do kind of want to make that a regular thing, just because I know a lot of really talented people, and so I figured it'd be a shame not to showcase that in some way. So yeah, if you know any, what do you guys think of doing stuff with music and the live streams and everything? Okay, so let's see. Get some crazy electronic music going and some metal going. Yeah. Okay, the bottom is not perfect, but it's kind of similar enough. But I gotta get this top one. So we've got that shape here, this angle, and then it goes down like that. So even that shape, a little bit, needs work. It's starting to come in a little bit. But yeah, it was I think the first one, yeah, like Leo's critique of JP was essentially that um, although I don't know, sometimes it definitely feels like I mean, because I'm a Zoomer, I'm kind of hip to some of the woke stuff. I think that's pretty common. Um, but some people like don't really. There's disagreement about whether or not what's more of a problem, like a bunch of woke kids or the military-industrial complex or something. Um, but Leo was kind of under the impression that JP criticizes and goes after the progressives and is too hard on them because he's in a very academic environment where that's very pervasive, whereas in the everyday it's maybe with his argument it's not as common. But I don't know, you'd have to check it out for yourself, but that was one of the things I thought was interesting. But he did kind of admit that essentially, because if you live in this kind of materialistic society, um, Peterson kind of serves as this role of going back to the spiritual and providing very classic wisdom that maybe people are lacking in some way. The whole put yourself together, pull yourself up by your straps, which I did kind of hear growing up, but um, yeah, it was like, but that was kind of his, like Leo's argument was, he's kind of too hard on the progressives. Progressives are too hard on him. Like everybody basically strawmans everyone else based on their viewpoint and their state of consciousness, like based on where they fit in the whole Claire Graves spiral dynamics model. Which I wonder what what Peterson would think of spiral dynamics. That'd be pretty interesting. But I don't know. Sometimes people kind of have a mix. So it's not really like there's like a one size fits all kind of way to gauge, but it can be useful. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see how I can get this fucking shape to do what I want it to do. So you need to be a Buddhist while sculpting, because the clay is just gonna clay. It's not gonna. It's gonna do what it wants to do. God damn it. Let's see. Okay. It's more of an angry look as opposed to like. His is like a mix of like. He just kind of looks I don't want to say sad, but almost like so he kind of has that in here too. But it's like a very signature JP look, like I don't know, like the New York Times, say he looks I forget what the New York Times said about his look. But I don't know. It was fucking stupid. Like I remember, he said that he's like, well, I don't like seeing all these institutions, turn to shit, and like get burned to the ground. And it's like, well, I don't feel that way. I find it very amusing because I guess that makes me Joker. But a little bit more young and nihilistic in that sense, I suppose. Okay. I would almost say that this is tolerable. I would almost say that this is top, but I get. We can do the eyebrows. No, I'm not doing the fucking eyebrows. I remember Jan sculpts. He does his eyebrows kind of like that. Like he'll use the scrape brush to kind of, yeah. Get in there. Get in there and scrape that shit. Yeah, fucking get in there with that fucking scrape on the fucking clay stripping. Get in. Sculpt that shit. Sculpt that motherfucker. Yeah. Just go in there, crease brush, crease that fucking shit. Look at that goddamn face. You can either sculpt that goddamn face or you can go to bed. It's an inside joke with a friend of mine. If you're familiar with Tom Green, you know what I'm talking about. Or Rip Torn, for that matter. See, that's what I want Focus Shift to be all about. Is like the weird, obscure ass fucking references. Not this, mainstream bullshit. It's the most obscure fucking shit. Yeah, see, that has a little bit more of the. kind of concerned kind of look. Because it's very slight. It's not like he's about to like fucking cry or something. It looks like it's like a mix. It's like a hybrid. It's like if you had a spectrum of like kind of like serious to like a little bit of this like I don't know, like a puppy. It's like right. It's a mix between like serious and puppy, like puppy eyes. I know it's a very weird fucking combination, but that's just I don't know. That's just how I think of it. Okay, and then let's see. See, this is why having multiple angles is useful. Like honestly, if I can't get it to something decent, I might just leave it. Kind of interesting. But yeah, it's important to get a good sculpt. Dude, this is honestly why eyes are so fucking difficult. This is why the eyes are just a fucking bitch. Just a fucking abysmal bitch. It's because they do shit like this. It's like you have to wrap it around this fucking sphere. You can't really just do what you want. You have to. You're the bitch. It's just like all of you're like sculpting. You're having a good time. You know the mouth is good. The nose is decent. Whatever. I mean, you know, somebody in the comments will be an ass and be like, "Your nose sucks." Whatever. Suck my dick. But you know, like you'll be sculpting like reasonably, and then the eyes comment, and you're just like, "Fuck." It's like you can't. It's like you're the bitch of the eye. You're the bitch of this fucking sphere, just like moving shit around. It's like hours later. I mean, usually the technique I use is like I do kind of like a broad lid, and then I'll maybe that's what I should have done, and then you know increase the detail. Okay, why is it doing this where it pops out? It's like okay, let's make this nice and consistent because I don't want like a bunch of fucking shit just sticking out. Patience, Padawan. Alright, let's see. From this side, it's not that bad. The eyes, honestly. How the fuck? Like, how the fuck did I do this? Like, how? Oh, man. Maybe it's because my anatomy is understanding is just so basic. I need to improve upon my anatomy so that way I can get it every time. All right. Yeah, the neck is just fucking... Yeah, it's a little bit better. Wow. Even, see, that's the thing. Even very minor adjustments can make your shit that much better. See, he has a... Well, let me see. Yeah. Does he look mean? I don't want to make him look mean. I don't want to make him look fucking sad. It's like a little bit serious. But that's the main like characteristic is like this fucking slant. No, not that slant. All right, let's be, you know, PG and PC and just love everybody. Not that kind of eye slant. Although, you know what, I would be down to sculpt an Asian character at some point. It'd be pretty cool. Stop Asian hate. All right. Okay, and then I think I gotta get a little bit over here. I've only been using 12 as a fucking height. So let's see. Can you believe that? Nope, that looks even worse. God. See, this is why you save backups of everything, so that way when it looks like fucking ass, you're just like, fuck it, I'll go back. Okay. How fucking long? Yeah, 30 minutes. Okay. So, if you want to do the ears, you can do the ears, but I'm going to just go and do the hair. Alright? Because I did this. Yesterday. I practiced this yesterday, guys, so that way I wouldn't completely fuck it up while doing it live. You know, I mean, honestly, that's my, if I, you know, the one thing that I prioritize is being prepared. Because I've learned, if you're not prepared, you are fucked. You're just absolutely fucked if you're not prepared. So let's see. So yeah, let's go in there, dine topo the shit out of this thing with the clay strips brush. So this is a technique, again, that I learned from Kent Trammell, where he used a female in that particular case, but pretty much the technique for sculpting hair. Cut the hair. If you know what reference that's from, I give you a high five. Digital high five because of the cooties. But anyways, cut the hair. So to sculpt the hair in Blender, what you do is you add a sphere. See, and then you add a little bit of detail, and then we can just call it a day. Just close out a blend, save this, and that's the end of the live stream. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm sure a lot of people probably just quit at that point. Like, oh, I'm sick of this, tired of this fucking noob, this shitty sculpts. Okay, so for those who are bearing with me and my being an ass, let's see. Oh, yeah. I believe that's in a Children of Bodom track. Rest in peace, Lexi. You know, it's like, why are just all the people that I like just fucking dying? It fucking sucks. Fucking Lexi Liho and Lemmy and David Bowie and I mean, fuck. All right. So let's see. I mean, you can already kind of tell. I mean, this already looks kind of like hair. Okay, so you can see they got like this shape, and then it goes down like that, and then this might even look better than what I sculpted yesterday. That would make me happy. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of showing you my process. You know, I'm not really going into like fancy anatomy or crap like that, or, you know, whatever, or, oh, it needs to be, you know, whatever. You know, the thing. You know, the thing. You know what I mean. All right. I definitely think cancel culture is a thing, though. It's not good. All right, let's see. Let's just all like listen to a bunch of different perspectives, and then let the market of place of ideas just figure it out. Okay. So essentially with this hair technique, and I think I've demonstrated this to a degree before, I'm just kind of looking around, just kind of making sure it's something good to work with in the first place. But essentially what you do is just go in there. I'm going to grab this. I I really do commend. You got to commend Peterson for keeping his cool during some of those interviews, though. I mean, some of those interviewers were really fucking annoying. I mean, they were. They were just. See you next Tuesdays. But I can say that. But anyways, so what you do is. So the clay strips brush has a certain texture to it, and essentially what you do is you do a mix of adding and subtracting, and you see how this kind of looks shitty, but it kind of gives it a hair almost a hair-like pattern to it because it's got that texture. See, it kind of has a, you know, so that's what you kind of do. You just give it some strokes, although try to, get some direction. So that way it looks a little bit more interest. And you can even, I mean, in ZBrush they have like crazy shit, and techniques that they use for sculpting the hell. So let's see. That was his dream. That was Zohan's dream, is just to, sculpt a bunch of, not sculpt, just give haircuts for people. And give a bunch of happy endings for old ladies. And I'm referring to Don't Mess with the Zohan, of course. The early to mid 2000s, like my childhood had a lot of interest. It was an interesting time for slapstick comedy. Just movies to get really big too. I'm gonna see. Right, this makes him look like an evil villain. Turn off the symmetry. Wah. Alright, there we go. I think what I did was I actually went in like that. Like, did some curvy shapes. Huh. Hmm. Sometimes that makes it easier to do a matte cap. Yeah, I guess the eyes aren't that bad. Hmm. I guess I'll leave the back last. I mean, you can kind of just go in. Sometimes with this method, you can kind of get gets like spaghetti or something. Then you can go in with the crease brush to kind of accent it. Okay, so how do I get this fucking front part to fucking work? Okay, that kind of resembles it. You know, I don't understand how a man that just tells you to clean your room and fucking get your shit together could be so controversial. I wonder why. I wonder why that's such a controversial position to take. It's a hot take. Yeah, but you kind of get the idea. You just go in there and fucking add and subtract, add and subtract. And you can even go in with the crease and kind of accent in some of those. Yeah, I'll go in and add a little bit more detail. But, duplicate. That was very fruity sounding. Okay, I don't care. Okay. So I'm going to go in. So one of the main things is it's like there's like this part and that part. I gotta stop saying fucking like so much. It's pissing me off. It's annoying the shit out of me. I'm the one who's fucking saying it. But there's you could kind of, you know, create a crease brush. You know what? Maybe people really are right about multitasking. That multitasking is bullshit because I can barely talk while doing these fucking things. It's shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't fucking see exactly. It's like your brain it can only do so much at once. But yeah, I just kind of. See, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Let's see if we can get this down a bit to get a little bit more of that detail. Yeah. Give me that detail. Making weird ass fucking noises. I'm actually kind of happy with how this hair. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, and you can play with you know, turning this hair symmetry on and off. But it's mainly, I mean, that was mainly a concern at the top because at the exact center, if it was symmetrical like that, it would look weird. I mean, to the side, these sides, they're not exactly the same. You know, if you want to go all photorealistic, man, photorealism, bro, then, you know, don't make anything symmetric. You know, make everything like perfectly weird. See, I don't like this up here. See, because you want to get it a nice thread. See how detailed that fucking shit is? Yeah. It's a good technique. I mean, I think I want to get into more particles stuff for the hair, and I might, because I do want to have some, you know, if there's like something I really need to research into to learn how to do, I might put that on the Patreon or like a Gumroad or some crap like that, as far as particles or something complex. But these, I mean, I kind of know how to do this, so it's just kind of documenting my process. more than anything. But see how right down the middle gets weird when it's symmetrical. So if you just kind of break it up, just break it up a little bit. Well, I mean, that kind of looks like ass. But whatever, it's back of the fucking head. Nobody's gonna fucking see that. See, yeah, that's the meme within 3D. Oh, look, we can make him, he's the skull demon guy. I like matte caps. Matte caps are great. The Lobster Man. Okay. Just a few more tweaks, and then we can wrap this up. And JP is finished. I know, because I've been doing that for a while. I kind of like a few more. I want to do another volume of sculpts. I did like 30 heads last year around this time. It's from like March to June. I think I should probably post those on my ArtStation just to have them there. Although I know I'm a broken record, but I'm still butthurt that I lost those fucking files, man, in that fucking hard drive. It's just like the worst. Because usually I'm such a stickler for those fucking things, but it fucking dropped. It's just whatever. Shit fucking happens. But I still have the JPEGs to just dock. Because honestly, it's like it would have been nice to like 3D print them or whatever, just as a memory. When I was making, because I don't know, before then I'd sculpt a few heads, but I don't know if I'd really, done that many and really, got into it in depth like that. But it's, it's just a good way to learn, is just by just taking shit you like and then recreating it. I mean, that's all the greats do it. With music or 3D or, whatever. You just take the shit you like and you put it into make it your own. Just recreate it, recreate a bunch of stuff. And it's like that saying goes, if you recreate 2 or 3 things, then you're a fucking rip-off. Generic piece of shit. But if you rip off 100 things, you're a fucking genius. And I think that's true. Because, I mean, nothing's really 100% original. I mean, it had to come from somewhere, in the sense that everybody has influences. So let's see. Do as I say, not as I do. See, but I don't know if So I was thinking of posting it in like a, you know, Peterson group or something. I don't know if somebody would recognize this as JP. But maybe if I, you know, put it some more. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's essentially, that is how you sculpt hair using that technique. I mean, you can go in, you know, with the detail size, get it a little bit more fine, get a little bit, you know, get a bit more detailed. But yeah, that concludes today's live stream. We were able to add in the eyes and the hair. If you have any suggestions for stuff to sculpt in the future, or any tutorials or things like that, like VFX you'd like recreated, then you can leave it down in the comments below, or shoot us, or you can contact us through our email. You can shoot us an email through our website. Peace.